Bill Wills and Mike Snyder at the 68th Annual Cleveland Home and Garden Show here at the Great Lakes Expo Center in Euclid. I love this time of the year, Mike.
It's a great time of year to be here when you know it's snowing outside, and then here you feel like it's spring or almost summer.
It's absolutely fantastic. Hopefully you had a chance to be out here at the show or join us here through this weekend. It's still open, of course, through Sunday. We've been telling you about our friends at Van Marsh Landscaping, and Chris is here. Chris, good to see you as always.
Good to see you as well.
He was on the air with us a week or so ago. We talked about the garden.
One of the biggest Browns fans, by the way,
absolutely,
of all that I know.
And we're going to take you around the garden today, too.
He works hard here. We're going to see the most unique display in this building.
This is absolutely incredible. Now, every year there's a theme to the show.
Yes.
And this year it's Canada, right?
Oh, Canada.
All right. So tell me about your thought process and how you came up with what we're about to see.
Well, I originally wanted to do Niagara Falls. We were going to make a large walk-through fall, and I really thought that one of these other companies was going to do Niagara Falls. And we like to be different. We like to be unique and show our stuff off. Well, so when we scratched that idea, I had to come up with a new theme. I happened to see a lighthouse, and it popped into my head, maybe there's lighthouses in Canada. After researching it a little bit, I found out there's over 10,000 lighthouses in Canada. So now I had to look through 10,000 lighthouses to find one that I had to twist that I could use at the garden show. So about 17 in, I found Shipwreck Point on Prince Edward Island. Right about the same time, my buddy had a boat he was trying to get rid of, and so it worked together, it came together perfect.
The size of the lighthouse at Shipwreck Point is how big?
It's 44 feet tall.
44 feet tall, and you tried to do it
I wanted to do it half scale,
okay,
but that would have put us in the rafters. So we're just under half scale, about 44%.
So how do you go from seeing a lighthouse and researching it to building one? I mean, you had to do all the layout, all the architecture, right?
The hardest part was figuring out how to make it look aged, because it's actually a concrete lighthouse, the real one. We're not going to bring concrete in and build a concrete structure, so we had to make it look concrete, make it look rugged and rough, like it's been weathered over the years.
Well, it sure looks that way. Now, so you actually built it in here?
Built it right here on site.
Right on site. Because when we saw you last, you were bleary-eyed from all the work you'd done. So how did you actually just kind of go about? Did you to get all the way up there and all? Because you still are what? How many feet up there? Over 20, right?
We're about 18 and a half feet.
Almost 20. All right.
Yeah. It's basically a 2x4 frame that we had to chop some angles on to get the boards on, and then it's just hardboard. And just a nice frame with the hardboard. Now, up top, we used actual reflective tape, so the beacon would flash and we could see it. And pretty much that, some paint.
When you come in, you're easy to find. Just look for the lighthouse. Because that's Bill and I were over here both like, hey, that's kind of neat. There's a lighthouse in here. That's before we even knew what it was.
And it's our garden?
Yes, it's our garden.
All right, Chris, let's go around. Again, the theme was Canada. There's all sorts of beautiful color. And it's always a trick to get these flowers to bloom right now, right?
Absolutely. You have to put them into a freeze, and then you have to pull them out of freeze, so they think they're in winter. And then you have to put them in a greenhouse and pump them up with heat and sun.
All right, let's take a walk and we'll take you around our garden. All right, we got great color here. Now, what are some of these things we're looking at?
Well, the taller ones in the back are called elephant ears by common name. They like a lot of water. They're more of a tropical, so in the wintertime you really would want to bring them indoors. But they'll be fine. They'll survive that. We have a display or an array, I should say, of tulips. You can see the colorful tulips. There's yellows, there's pinks, there's purples. There's some white in there somewhere too. We also have these low-lying ones with the leaves are called coral bells. They get little spikes on them with little pink flowers on top. That's a coral bell. That's a hyacinth, and we have different color hyacinths.
Always wanted to be a hand model.
We really wanted to do a splash of color this year.
All of these flowers will grow in Northeast Ohio?
Yes.
So all this color you could have in your backyard?
Absolutely.
And Chris, we should ask you to mention, all of this color was recognized here by the judges, correct?
Yes, we actually were honored with the most unique garden, which is pretty obvious with the lighthouse and the boat, I think, and the best use of colors and textures. So we got some recognition this year, and we really appreciate it.
Just beautiful.
Love the waterfall and the sound of water. Is that something that people are asking about when they're looking at landscapes now?
Yeah, it just depends on what they're looking for, but a lot of people enjoy the fact that it's so relaxing. after you work hard day's work and you come home and maybe you sit with a glass of wine and sit by your waterfall and it just really relaxes you.
Are they hard to care for though? Maintenance?
No, they are not. That's a common mistake that people make, is thinking I don't want a waterfall because they're so hard to deal with. They're really not. Once you get set up, once you get it running, and you get the right livestock, the right plants in, and the right filtration system, it's pretty much they take care for themselves.
Now the boat, this is another great story that Chris and the guys came up with. You bring the boat in and you cut it when you get it in here, right?
Yeah, we wheeled it in on the trailer, and we just took a regular Sawzall to it, cut it right in half. Set it in place. I had to take a hammer to the glass to break the glass up a little bit, make it look a little more wrecked than it really was. But
absolutely amazing. Chris, how many hours to put this in?
I don't have an exact total, but I know we're over 300. Gathering materials, getting them all here, and then on site construction over 300.
And you didn't have a lot of time. That's very compressed hours too, right?
Yeah, we basically worked in our free time because we were also plowing snow. So between snow and this, it was quite a headache, but all enjoyable. I mean, it's not very often I get to be this creative and unique in someone's garden. Most people, they're shy away from that, and it's really not that often that I get to go home every night and giggle about what we're doing. So this is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing this.
And we even have grass growing around the tree, so I mean it's like springtime here.
Yeah, look at that.
The 68th annual Cleveland Home and Garden Show here at the Great Lakes Expo Center. Through the weekend, Chris Marsh, Van Marsh Landscaping, yet again the official landscape of Wills and Snyder in the morning, and you see why, right, Mike?
Exactly. This is the most unique display, the most unique garden, most colorful garden, and it's just great to be here. It makes you want to sing "Oh Canada."
Plan a fishing trip. Just don't let me drive.
Exactly.
And we're going to put the lighthouse in Mike's backyard in Lakewood. So
all right.
Be ready, Lakewood.
There you go. That's
you're
right.
You're going to see it right
I love lighthouse. I do.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Come out and enjoy the 68th annual Cleveland Home and Garden Show here at the Great Lakes Expo Center. Right on through Sunday. It's a lot of fun, and enjoy the Wills and Snyder Celebrity Garden.
You can't miss us.